So when somebody says that X is the largest organ in the body, it depends on whether they're talking about surface area to volume ratio or if they're just talking about volume. And what I'm doing here is kind of drawing the output of skin and just, ignore my abbreviation of the digits. But the idea here with the body is that it's covered in surface area by this organ, skin. And we actually put values on places of your body in terms of like a percentage that helps us generate burn percentage. So, for example, if you're burned on one arm, that's 9%. Oh, and genitalia is 1%. If you're burned on one leg and genitalia, that's 19%. But it's worthwhile to note that if you're burned on your hands, if you're burned on the soles of your feet, or if you're even burned on your face, you can be considered in critical condition. Excuse me. So these places, especially the hands and the feet, these places are actually covered with thick skin that has, I guess you could say it has a different an additional layer, but we're going to see that that's not really an accurate saying either. So by far, skin covers your most superficial aspect. It's open to the external environment, which you could call a lumen, right? Because an open space is a lumen. And now you get an idea of how we can kind of give a percentage to the surface area coverage. Now, if I were to zoom in, like microscopically zoom in, I would see something like this. I would see some cells like this, and they have a pretty dark nucleus in them. And they would kind of look like patchwork, or they would look a little bit like stepping stones that all fit together, like in my garden. But every once in a while in there, you would also see like a circular structure that looks like it's got this outer border. And this is a sweat pore. These here are skin cells. But this is not good enough for us in this class. We can't call them skin cells. There's lots of different cells in skin. So these are what are called keratinocytes. We're going to find that these might have a few different names, but to be very specific about what they contain, a protein keratin, and the fact that they're all in your epidermis, and they're all connected too. They have these junctions that connect them. We're also going to see that there are other structures kind of sticking up and out of the skin, and of course these are hairs. You may not realize it, but there is also something like a pore surrounding the edge of hairs. So let's zoom in, right? Let's get more specific about where we are here in the next slide. But I just want to remind you that this is the integumentary system before I move on. And this is one of the official organ systems in the body. Now, this is not skin. This skin is just an organ. So it's one thing that makes up the integumentary system. And this is why we have sweat pores, we have hairs, and we're going to see a whole bunch of other structures as well. So if someone says, what is the organ system that is the most superficial on your body, you say integumentary system. If someone says, what is the most superficial organ, then you say skin. And we're going to find that hair, just like I said, hair, nails, glands, and a whole bunch of other things are also organs in your integumentary system.